Time to rock and roll. Now, we got some questions, and what I'm going to do, Desi, do you have some that are already lined up for me? Bada boom, bada bing. So these are some of the questions that have been coming in. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through these, and then we're going to open up the lines for you guys to personally be able to ask questions. Okay, but these ones you guys already asked, so I'm going to dive into them. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the question was, would I use EDT for my one-on-one clients as well? And the answer is yes, I have used that before for one-on-one clients. It's just a training method. So for example, I'm actually going to give you, I want to give you as much real-world examples from my life of coaching rather than just also theory stuff. So when I worked at Vision Quest, which was one of the big box gyms, so I worked at LA Fitness and Vision Quest, and then opened my own garage gym here in Seattle. I would have, I couldn't dictate what we're selling. So there was one-on-one, initially there was one-on-one session. I actually convinced the big gym to start doing semi-private sessions. It was the first gym doing things. It was the first gym doing a lot of things because I kind of pushed that onto there, but we had 30-minute sessions, right? So somebody would sell 30-minute sessions and then go like, Luca, here's your client for 30-minute sessions, right? And I'm like, okay. And so what I would do is the first session, I would teach them their warm-up, right? I would go like, this is the warm-up I want you to do every time for 10 minutes. Come in earlier. I don't want to spend time warming you up because I want to basically get to the meat and potatoes, and we're going to do that. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I did with my clients, and I got the best results, period, right, for those 30-minute sessions. We would do a strength superset. So for instance, we do a hinge and then a push. So let's say it was a heavier deadlift and then a heavier like bench press or dumbbell bench press, right? So that would be a superset. Then I would do 2 blocks of EDT that would be 10 minutes long, right? And that might be something like a lunge and a row, and then a kettlebell swing and a push-up. And every week we try to get stronger in those 2 big lifts. Okay, so let's say it was a 4x4. So 4 sets of trap bar deadlifts, 4 sets of 6 dumbbell bench presses heavy, and then we'd go into 2 EDT blocks. So they'd get warmed up. We'd have pretty short breaks in between that. That would take us about 30 to 35 minutes. And man, like I'll get some crazy results, right? So yes, you can do that. Now, if you have an hour session, even more so, there's a lot of ways to implement that. Honestly, like that's why I know one of the future courses is going to have to be on program design because we have to dive deeper into this stuff. But hopefully that was helpful because that's one of the things that I do.
Okay, next, my schedule is fully occupied by one-on-ones. I want to transition into small group to maximize my time and client capacity. Any recommendations on how to position small group to existing one-on-one clients?
Great question. So one-on-one training model, how to position small group to one-on-one coaching clients. Now, without opening up the lines, I've done a lot of this in my life, so I kind of know where you're at. Most of your one-on-one clients are probably not 3-day-a-week one-on-one clients, I would assume, okay? And I actually see the comment section. So if you say, no, they're not, I'll know. But here's why, because most people can't afford 3 times a week one-on-one training, right? They're probably training with you once a week, maybe twice a week. So the answer here is this, right? Mostly they train twice, most are once. Exactly, right? So would they have benefit from training 3 days a week or 4 days a week? The answer we all know is yes. So what I would do with your one-on-one clients, I would create an upsell for small group, okay? So they can train more frequently for a lot less money. So you got a new program that any new clients can come into small group, they get upsold to one-on-ones. So if you did a small group, for instance, I'd go like, hey, listen, I think for the first 8 to 12 weeks, it'd be great if you saw me once a week, one-on-one, so we can work on your form, improve this, that, and the other. And then your small group's actually gonna get better. To the one-on-one clients, you go, hey, listen, I really think to get the results that you said that you wanted, and you go back over the results, it'd be more beneficial if you were seeing me 3 to 4 days a week, which it's not as ideal as one-on-one, but now we can do it in a small group setting, and I can get the frequency of training up, and it's only going to be this much per session. You're going to do 8 sessions a month, so it's going to be this much for you. How would you like to pay for that?
Okay, last one from Facebook. Looking into marketing of this program, what happens when you find out your target audience wants the program but aren't willing to pay the price? Would you lower the price to fix it, or would you, even though it may lead to unsustainable income?
I love this question. It's one of my heart. So whether you guys heard that, is like, there's a demand for small group, but they don't want to pay for it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there's only one barrier most of the time to payment. I'm going to write it on here. Value. So it's one of two things. You haven't built up enough value to basically for them to invest into it, or it's just not the right person. Now, I'm gonna challenge each and every one of you here. Okay, I'm gonna make you guys uncomfortable. I can see the comment section here too. So, who here has clients regularly paying $2,000 a month? One client paying $2,000 a month every month, like ongoing coaching. Raise your hand if you have it. And the thing is, I'm making a point here, okay? Love it, Christine. Right? I know that it's not a lot. And that, like, my point here is this. What about 5,000? Right? What about, so I've coached somebody that that's possible. Absolutely, that's possible. I have a business coaching client that I don't coach anymore, but I did through Jay's mastermind. And they only have one, so there's only one way to train with him, okay? It's 100,000 a year, that's it. There's no other options, right? It's 100 grand a year, right? He has 9 clients and that's it, okay? And one client books out two times, so he makes $1 million a year. My point here being is this, okay? They find value in it. Now, these are high net worth individuals, make millions, but 100 grand a year is so worth it for their energy, their confidence, their capacity, their health. It's worth millions. Like, oh, I only have to pay 100 grand. So let me ask you this. And the thing is, now we're going into the selling world, but I want to give you guys as much value as possible in these calls, and we're veering off here, okay? When you look at something like $300 a month, okay? And $300 a month is, oh, but LA Fitness is 29. See, these are problems because what is the problem that you're solving? Okay. And if I sit down with Mary and Mary's like, look, my energy level's so low. I feel like I'm not a good leader to my kids. I can't do anything with them. I feel like I'm not a good role model, right? My confidence is low and, you know, I go through my days with low energy. What is it worth to solve that problem? 300 a month or 30,000 a month or 3,000 a month? I would argue it's easily 3,000 a month, right? But you're only charging 300, 400, 500. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're selling the feature is small group personal training. You're going to lose. You want to not just only sell the benefit, you want to sell the benefit behind the basically problem that you want to solve. Okay? So again, what would it be worth to you? I'll ask people, what would it be worth for you to not have low back pain all day, every day? What would it be worth to you to jump out of bed in the morning with energy and be able to go all day, be focused at work, get 2 times, 3 times more done, come home and be a great parent to your kids because you have enough energy and you're not smoked? What's that worth? Priceless. Priceless. There's no price tag on it. But you know what? It's only going to be $1,000 a month. You see, like, it's all value. So the problem, I believe, is either, which is what I want to coach and teach you here, is how to make an exceptional experience. But also there has to be an attempt. You have to be able to show people what you're solving. So we're here, right? Like on the GPS, this is point A. We want to get you to point B. But point B is not, listen, point B is like, I have this question. I say, if I can wave a magic wand tonight, you guys saw it, it's in the client intake form, but I ask people personally, I say, if I could wave a magic wand tonight, tomorrow morning you wake up and your life is exactly how you want it to be, tell me what it would feel like. Tell me what it would look like. What things would not be there anymore? What things would be there? Wow, tell me a little bit more about that. Do you see what I'm saying? So first, I'm gonna discover the pain. And this is not a bad thing. You know, when I say, like, I need you to help somebody, you have to actually unravel their pain. If they're giving you bullshit surface level, I want to know why. Why are you here? What made you reach out to me today? Why is that important to you? Notice 5, 6, 7, why. Right? We're going to dig deep into the pain, and then we're going to essentially find and uncover and unravel that pain. Then we're going to show the possibility. We're going to create that gap. And that gap, this path right here, that's your program. Okay? Your program is the path to getting to that feeling, to getting to that place. And when you do that and you build that value, people will gladly invest. And if they don't, they might not be the right fit, right? When somebody comes in and goes like, hey, listen, wow, your gym is so cool. I want to have a membership here. I say, oh, let me ask you a question. Like, what is exactly you're looking for? Oh, I just want to come in and do my own thing here. I'm like, it's not what we do, right? And then I'll ask them more questions. What are you currently doing? And I'll try to dig deeper. And when for people are like, no, I just want to do my own thing. I'm like, well, that's not what we do. That's not what we do, right? What we do is we help people sustainably transform their lives through nutrition, training, lifestyle changes that they can sustain. That's what we do. We're a transformation gym, right? So again, you draw a line in the sand. So maybe some of those people are not the right fit, but if there's interest, it means that you have to build up the value. Okay. Do we have any more questions that popped in? Awesome. Get it on the mic.
Hi.
Hey.
This was great. Also, so this is like my happy place, the experience, the show and everything. I recently took a job at a different facility. It is the first time I have ever coached in a non-dedicated space for group fitness.
Okay.
The culture is shit. The energy is low. And I'm trying to get, and I'm the only person who does what we call adult fitness. Everybody else is a sports performance coach. So they're working with athletes while I'm in there, like, but trying to get like the music up and trying to get, like, we're working in a, like I said, it's an undedicated space. So my question is more like, when I believe in all of this, but I'm not their boss, how do I get other coaches to buy into the culture that I'm trying to provide to new clients to grow this program?
I mean, this will sound corny, but be the lighthouse. Here, and what I mean by that is this. When I worked at LA Fitness, I would do things differently.
Yeah.
And at first, like, coaches would be like,
yeah.
Right? And then 6 months later, they were like, hey, man, how are you doing that?
Okay.
Right? Because the reality is like, you want to stand out like a fart in the elevator, right? In the best of ways, that is.
Yeah.
And do you think, because here's what happens, right? At first, it's like change is difficult. You know, when you insert something into an environment that's different, it's uncomfortable, right? And let me tell you this, because I've experienced this a lot of times, even going through it now, is where if somebody's working at like a 5 out of 10, and then boom, you show up, and you're doing this, that shit is like a fucking 9 out of 10. And everybody doesn't like that. Because it's like, oh, you're a 9 out of 10. Like, oh, you're going to work really hard and bring the energy. Like, look at her. And you got to just keep fucking going, because people will gravitate towards you.
Okay.
Right? Let them be, if they're pissed off, you're probably doing something good.
They're pissed.
Right? And
I had a client walk in, he was like, it's a library in here. I was like, it's a gym. It's so, the energy is like, it's
good. And the thing is, like, look, I legitimately believe this, and it is hard. I will say this, right? Because environments trigger behavior. So their environment is a certain way. So you're kind of fighting a bit of an uphill battle, but it's not about them. It's about you, right? If you listen, it's kind of like when you get somebody, you know, what do we coach clients, right? We go like, you have this outcome that's meaningful, but then all I want you to do is focus on the process day to day, right? Because if you keep looking at the outcome for you might be like, how do I get other coaches on board? How does everybody see that this will be so much better? And then you're stressing yourself out.
Mhm.
But if you come in and you go like, I'm prepared, I'm gonna put on a fucking show, right? I put on a show, put on a show, put on a show, put on a show, put on a show. And it's like day 93. You're like, they're still not there. I put on a show, put on a show, day 147. It's like your classes are packed, fucking everything. And other coaches are like, hey man, like, hey, would you mind showing me? I don't think it takes 147 days, by the way, but I'm giving an example that even if it did, I'd do it. Because you're developing yourself. It's not about them, right? Because if somebody else is like, well, I'm just going to stay at 5 out of 10. Great. Guess what? You won't go far in this industry. I'm telling you, you won't be around in 3 years. I guarantee you. But you, whether you stay there or go somewhere else, you're building a skill set that's valuable. You're a linchpin, and it doesn't matter, right? So that's why I say like be the lighthouse. It's like be a shining example of how things should be. And then if people love it or not, like meaning like if people recognize it, that's their loss if they don't. Because to me, if somebody comes in and is killing, I'm like, oh shit, I got to bring my level up. Hey, can I pay you for your time? And like, I love how you do this. Can you show me? But that you got to drop the ego for that. And what I found is in a lot of athlete performance facilities is just a lot of ego.
A lot.
I'm not gonna ask that girl about how she's doing, and it's like your loss, right? So be the lighthouse. Honestly, to me, it's like if anybody talks shit or kind of it, I just turn it up even more. Like turn it like I will annoy you with my quality energy. I'm gonna annoy you with how much I show up for my clients, because that's who you're showing up for, right? It's like just serve them, follow the process, and I promise you great things will happen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That was
You're
good.
welcome.
Thanks.
Let's go with Maria right there. Yep. Did I say it right? Can we, oh, there we go.
Is it me?
Yes.
Oh, it's Fatu.
Oh, hold up. Do we have Fatu up? Okay.
Oops. Hold on one second. Start video. Hi.
Switch it. There we go. Hi, how you doing?
Okay. Good. So I'm a new coach. I haven't coached anyone yet. And I'm looking to open my own center studio in West Africa, Senegal. And we want to start with my husband and I, he's my business partner. We want to start with the small group training. But we keep going back and forth on the way to structure basically timing and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering, I know that in your book, and also there was a video that you posted 4 days ago, which is amazing. If I started my own gym today, this is what I would do. It's gold. I just want to know, because you mentioned to start with 1 3 slot and just to see how it fills out and then expand as it goes. He's totally against that. He's not a coach. So I just wanted to know what it is, like, what is the reasoning behind it? I know we don't want to do like 5 here, 5 there, 2 here and spread it out. And also the best way to pick the best time for classes.
So the best time for classes is difficult because environments are different. Like for instance, I have a gym in Slovenia, very different, most popular times than in America, right? Because people don't get up as early as they do here, right? So here we can have a 5:30 time. There, the 5 o'clock time, crickets, right? Like, so you're gonna have to kind of figure that out a little bit by yourself. Now, let me explain the whole, like, I would be curious to see why he's against starting it that way, but I'm always been a big fan of grow out of things.
Mhm.
Now, I can promise you, this is what I've done. I've been doing business coaching for like almost 11 years now. A lot of times I'll come into the gym and they're like, Luca, we don't know what's going on. And I look at their class schedule, okay? And there's like 8 classes a day, right? There's like 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning and then 5 in the afternoon. And I'm like, okay, tell me how many people are on each of these. And like 2 to 3 in the evening are pretty busy. And then 1 to 2 in the morning. So there's 4 classes throughout the day to have 2 people, 3 people, 1 person, 4. And like, but you're payrolling that, right? It's a great way to burn money, right? I would much rather have the class like popping and going like, oh, we have to open another one, right? So at most, I would do 1 in the evening, 3 times a week, 1 in the morning at most, right? What's cool about things is like you can test times by doing challenges because now you're not committed to time. There's nothing worse. By the way, let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than giving a lot of options than taking them away. Hey guys, we're going to have 4 classes in the evening. Actually, nobody's there. We're going to take 2 away. Or 1 person that shows up and pissed off, right? You give people things and take them away. They're not happy. I'd rather be people complain that it's so full because what does full mean in a person's mind?
Good.
If you come to a packed restaurant, what does it mean? That restaurant's
Good.
popping. It's good,
Mhm.
right? So there's nothing worse than coming to a class and there's like 2 people in it. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, I'd rather cancel that all day
Agreed.
long. And you have, and the thing is, like, as a startup in a business and money, now, even though you're serving, it might be you and your partner, your business partner serving the people, it's still your time. But once you hire a coach, right, that's payroll. So there's nothing worse than having a coach and like 2 people in class. You're losing money every class. You're in the red every class. And then you're fighting an uphill battle. Well, I would much rather go like, wow, this is so busy. We decided to open up another class, right? It
Agreed.
gives you a lot better strategic advantage and more control than just going like, we're going to open up 10 times per day. Right?
I agree.
So start with less and grow out of it.
Okay. And you're definitely going to see me on the Yo Grow Your Gym in the next couple months, but we'll be able to develop more on that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Love to hear it. My pleasure. Let's go back to, there you go, Maria. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Just a quick question. How do you keep showing up for your clients at the same energy, like same personality? Like if, say, for example, there's a day that you don't really feel like going to coach, like it happens to all of us. Like how do you keep the same like personality?
Great question.
You create a second one?
Great
Like
question.
you're not
Great
a
question. All right. So there's 2 parts to this. There's the 2-part answer to this. Okay. The first one, this is very, very important. Actually, just give me like in the comment section, just give me like a thumbs up if you've read Atomic Habits for James Clear. And if you haven't, then you should definitely read that. Cool. There we go. I see a lot of people are holding it up. Love it. Yes, a lot of you. Okay. So in there, we talk about, and he talks about identity, right? So when we do something, we cast a vote for that person, right? So I like to use an example of, I don't know, I'm actually a good ping pong player, but with people, I'm like, do you play ping pong? Most people are like, I don't play ping pong. Okay, cool. So if you played ping pong tomorrow and afterwards I was like, are you a ping pong player? You'd be like, no, not really. I just, I played a couple of times, right? But if you played ping pong every day of the week for 2 years and I said you're a ping pong player, you'd be like, hell yeah, I'm a ping pong player, right? Because you cast enough votes for that person, that identity, right? So I learned this kind of the hard way. So my first 6 to 7 years, I worked absurd amounts. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I slept 3 hours a night. I was just working a ton. But, you can imagine if you sleep 3 hours a night and come and run the 5 or 5:30 class, I'm not waking up in the morning like, right? I'm more like, caffeine, right? But this is a true story, by the way. And again, I want to make a point. So this is not me trying to go like do the same thing. I'm trying to make a principal point, okay? I would drive to the gym, window down so the cold air is blasting in my face. I'm playing DMX because DMX will get me hyped up. I would get out of my car. First, I'd kind of be in the car like, then I'd get out of my car and I would do high knees and skips and stuff in the parking lot, right? Then I would open the gym up and I would be like riled up. And then people would come in and I would just be high strung. Because I was like, okay, if I come in front of my people and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? You guys tired? I'm tired too, man. Yeah, let's slowly get warmed up. Like nobody's going to be fired up about that, right? But I was like, hey guys, what's going on? Well, I'd be, you can ask people that have been with us for like 12, 13 years, and there's quite a few of them that are like, I would be doing ninja kicks in the morning, right? And then they would get more energetic, and then I would get more energetic because they were more energetic, and it would just feed off of each other, right? And I did it for so long because it's how I was like, this is how I pay my rent, this is how I pay my bills, this is how I do my thing, that my identity became that. So doesn't matter if I got 3 hours, I'm going to show up and this is who I'm going to be. That's the only thing I knew. Okay. So that's part one is like, do you go get a training session in when you don't feel like it? You do, because you know of the benefit it's going to give you, right? Oh man, I really want to crush this burger, but I've already had one this week. Guess what? My identity is I'm a healthy person that feeds my body with quality fuel, right? And so even though that you don't feel like it, and remember, commitment means 3 things. Do what's required, right? Do what you said you do, and do it despite of your emotions, feelings, and thoughts, right? So that's really important. So that's number 1. But part 2, this is important. I didn't do this in my first 8-10 years of my career, which is taking care of yourself, okay? Now, taking care of yourself is like, 1 is training, eating right, getting your sleep, going into the spa, I live in Washington, so I love going into nature, going for hikes. It's very mindful for me, meditation. Now, do we all have I'm not a big fan, when you see this, like, what do you do when you get up in the morning and people have these 3-hour routines where they're rubbing crystals on themselves and shit? Like, no, I don't have time for that. But I do plan recovery for myself. And you should too, meaning what are the things that make you calmer, happier, give you energy, right? A lot of times I think it's very important to be around the right people. I can tell you, I've been like working so much, I was exhausted, and then would go to an event with my friends that are aspirational, inspirational. And even though I was tired, I came back on fire, right? So if you got energy vampires around you, get that out of your environment. What are the books that you read that get you right? What are the podcasts that you listen to? Do you need to go do a cold plunge or go to a float tank? Like, there's a lot of options. I would say you can't do them all, but why don't you just start planning some of that into your week now, right? If you look at your week right now and you're like, well, shit, I'm not doing anything that helps me calm down, you should probably plug it in, because that will help you also get energy, right? So I think that's important. Is like, one, what is your identity? Even if you don't feel like it, show up, because that's who you want to become. I have it everywhere. Who do you want to become? My screensavers. Not who I am. Who do I want to become? I'm going to behave in that way. And then 2, make sure you do take care of yourself and give yourself recovery so that you can deliver the fire all day, all the time. Okay? Olivia,
Hello.
you're on.
Yes, I'm here. So my question is, my big thing is, I haven't ever had any clients yet, but I've been certified as a coach for a while now. So I'm trying to get into that. And so I really wanted to start at the gym I'm currently with. They have a lot of group training classes, but nothing's really personalized. So what you touched on today is having everything personalized. I was wanting to figure out a way to have something similar to the client intake form without having that capability, if that makes any sense.
But I mean, here's the thing is, you can do a client intake form through a Google Doc. You can do it through, Typeform is, if you do Typeform Pro, I think probably like $30 a month. It's not a lot, but Google Doc forms to a certain degree are free. And you can literally go through the same questions, do a nice, I would say, logo at the top, and get all the answers, right? Because I would say this, that just the fact that like you'd go somewhere and there's none of this, and then all of a sudden, you're like, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions because I want to know how to best help you. That person's going to be like, oh, that's different, right? And then when you check in on them, I'm like, hey, I noticed that, even texting somebody afterwards or emailing them and saying, hey, I read this and I got a couple more questions for you. Want to make sure I'm prepared for your training session tomorrow. Imagine the difference of the quality of service between you and the rest of the experiences they got, right? It's like night and day. Because what do you think people do in class? Let me tell you right now, okay? Yeah. This is how it works. It's like, whether it's a friend or somebody they met through training in week 2 is like, oh yeah, Olivia sent me this form and like she really adjusted it. Oh, she did? Oh, I go to this class. I don't really get that. What? Yeah. She checks in on me every Sunday and she's gave me some recipe books and give me some, what? Yeah. Fuck my class. I'm going to your class, right? Like, yeah. That's because people talk. That's how these things go. And it's still, did you know, this is a crazy statistic, that 93% of word of mouth happens offline. Okay. Now, this is how this works. I'm not saying that online doesn't matter, because let's say I post a video of a client doing something awesome in stories, and then they share it. And then their friend is going to text them, hey, I gotta start getting myself together. Can I join, can I go and try out your gym? Right? They're going to see it online, but it's going to be, the word of mouth is like personal, right?
Right.
And so this is why like things like this really help you like elevate stuff, and then people talk. And then when they talk, it's like, hold up, I don't get that. You got a free appetizer? What? Right? Like, it's, again, if people share that, and it kind of creates this natural momentum. And I think that's why this is so, like, if you follow this, like, you'll stand out probably so much that some people will hate on you.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's what you want. That's the result you want. You want others to hate
Right.
on you because you're doing a damn good job and you're doing a great job and you're serving your clients at the highest level, right? If somebody hates on you for that, you should be proud of yourself.
Okay, cool.
Boom.
Yeah, I like that. That's the thing that I've noticed about the group training classes they have is people come and show up, stand in the back, and then they never come again. And I mean, they try and address them, but I really want that initial,
Absolutely.
I know what's going
Yeah.
on type
Wow.
thing.
You want to get a wow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can. We have any more questions, guys? No? I mean, we only went close to 2 hours. All right. Listen, my biggest thing out of this is application. It's a lot. Okay. I'm gonna erase this top part because I want to show you something real quick. Okay. Because you could be watching this and going like, getting a little anxiety attack. Like, how the fuck do I implement all this? Listen, I'm still in faith. Like when I have a team, trust me, do you think that we do all of this 100% of the time? No, right? My mission and my goal is to continue to do this till we do. And maybe it's like, you're kind of, I actually have one of our values, one of my values is called chasing the unicorn. Okay. It means I'm chasing something that's uncatchable, but the process of chasing that is going to make me and everybody around me better. Right. So if you are, wherever you are here, okay, and let's say that you do this at the greatest level known to mankind, that's here. Okay. Here's what I want from you guys. I don't want you to be here. It's impossible. I just want you to be here and moving on along. Right. So after today, you're implementing some of this stuff and you're getting better. That's what I'm looking for. Right. But you have the blueprint. I want you to have the blueprint because it might take you a year to get 80% of this locked in. But I tell you what, your business will be a different business once you lock this in at 80%. Right. I travel around the country. I have like really big companies like, hey, bring us in, do this stuff. And my thing is that I'll sit there for about 2 to 3 hours and observe people's stuff. Okay. And I'm telling you, like, no one, I've never met anybody, including myself, that does this 100% of the time to the T. Right. That should make you excited because this done at 10 out of 10, that's the unicorn. I just want you guys to chase the unicorn with me. And I promise you, like, your business will go like this. And not only that, like when you do this, I'll tell you what happens. Burnout goes away because you're very fulfilled. Because like when you do good shit, you feel good about yourself and then you get results and that makes you feel good. And it's just all good, right? If I could do like little emoji shit and like the rainbow's popping out of me right now as I'm talking, I would do it, right? Because that's how you feel. But I promise you, like this, it gives more purpose to everything that you're doing. And because of that, you do a better job. And because of that, you're going to grow your business. Okay. With that said, love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for showing up, getting better, educating yourself, and improving. Fired up about next week. Now, go put in the work and maybe take a little bit of recovery time at the end of the day for yourself. Peace out, my friends.